Xavier Clarke, it was a successful return to the territory in 2014, and planning's obviously already begun for 2015. So let's get straight into it. The draw, it's a much different draw this year, but what are your thoughts on the NEAFL draw this season?
Yeah, I think it's probably a little bit more consistent. We play everyone once, which we didn't do last year, which is a great result. The consistencies in terms of restriction on players playing at AFL clubs is consistent across the board. I think it's 18 contracted players and the rest through their academy, so which works really well. It sends a really consistent message across the competition, and I'm looking forward to it. We still get the 10 home games, one in Alice Springs, which we always look forward to, 6 in Brisbane and 1 in Sydney. So it's come out really well, I think.
And the list, there's some changes to the list as well. We see that Gilhouse, Vassal and Little are 3 of the big outs this season. Where do you see those gaps being filled?
Yeah, unfortunately, each year you lose some and you gain some, and unfortunately we lose probably 3 of our better players. And we've looked at the local competition in the NTFL and tried to recruit some boys that will fill those gaps. Obviously you can't replace a big man like Gilhouse. He's just so hard to find. But we're pretty confident that guys like John O'Miles have had a pretty good finish at the end of last year's NEAFL season. We'll be able to step up and develop a little bit more. And there's a couple of younger kids that are running around at the moment. Hopefully will come into the side as well.
You mentioned local talent. That's something that's really important to you?
Yeah, no doubt. Last year we started a invitational training session where I think we invited 50 players to come and train, and that was just to reward the players who have been having good NTFL seasons to date, and it hasn't been done before, and we got a really good result out of that. I think we signed probably 10 players from that training session. So this year we've invited 64 players down, so it's just a good sign of the players in the local competition is actually really good players. It's a good standard at the moment. I think out of that 64, 80% of those players are actually locally born and bred Darwin players, so I think that's a really good result.
And what have they got, what have you got planned for them at that training?
It's not going to be much, mate, to be honest. We're going to, just an overview of the footy club, what's expected, our travel commitments, our schedule in terms of our games and things like that, and training requirements as well. And we'll showcase a little bit of the Michael Long Centre, what that's got to offer for us next year as well. So. And then might go over the road and do a beat test and get
nothing much in store.
No, not much in store.
Just a beat test.
Just to slip that one in. So, and then we'll do a very light skill session, mate. Because we're very wary that boys have still got games this weekend to play. So we'll try and keep it pretty short and sharp. And
it would be remiss of me not to mention 2015 and your expectations. 1 step further, 2 steps further, a premiership maybe in 2015, is that the goal?
Yeah, we're not hiding the fact that we're going for the flag. We strongly believe if we can get our list together again, replacing the guys who were left, and really building the areas that we need to build in. Our KPIs for the season 2014 were really good. We fixed some minor things, and some consistencies in the draw. There's no doubt that we're not going to, the fact that we want to go for a premiership next year, and that's the message across the board, from our general manager Jared Eilert to our new recruits who come on board for 2015. That's what we're going to be here for.
Well, good luck with that, Xavier Clarke, and thanks very much for joining me in the commentary box.
Thanks, DK.